Well, hello again. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Richard Lake. This is my own personal story of the Transcontinental Race number 8. It's taking place in 2022. Currently ascending the Gavia in northern Italy. That's where I left you last in the previous podcast. If you've missed any episodes, don't forget you can head over to my YouTube channel, and all the previous episodes you'll find in there. As for this one, I start by rewinding back into early parts of the day and the last mountain pass, which was the Stelvio, and let's compare it to the Gavia. Right, okay, so definitely the Stelvio is a much more popular climb, because just hundreds of cyclists all day long, and most cyclists and the odd camper van that should not be there, cars, annoying buses, and the same sort of amount of climbing as this one. But aside from all the traffic issues, mentally tough of a ride, because you've got these other riders around with you, give you some sort of company, people look at you as well. I've had a few people say hello, grab the cameras and say, "You doing the TCR?" Yes, I am. I've been walked out watching you, which is a great feeling. But it also kind of puts you under a little bit of pressure to get a little bit faster, and you can't do that on a climb such as the Stelvio or this one. So apart from those, I think the biggest contributing factor to making a hard climb are the two, really. Number one is you're always in the sun. You've got direct sunlight, and you just heat it up and up like an oven, and that's what my experience was like. It's getting hot. Do have a couple of fountains located up that climb, in which you can cool yourself down, either a bit of splash of water over your head or in your helmet, me both, fresh water bottles, keep you cool, and the other thing, apart from that, is the heat. Just 1 second. Okay, in fact I thought of another one. I've had a bit of thinking time while pausing the recording. So the one I was going to talk about next is, so getting hot and hot and hot, because there's no draft, there's no trees coverage or anything like that, which kind of goes hand in hand, getting too warm. Whereas the Gavia, up to now, bearing in mind, been about 700 metres, about 300 to go. Most of it, okay, a little bit later in the day, but even so, I don't think it'll make any difference, because there's been lots of tree coverage keeping you cool. Less traffic, the roads are a little bit more crumbly, so it keeps you watching the road. And another one, the Stelvio, you cannot turn off from that wiggly road ahead. It's there in front of you, winding left, right, left, right, left, right, and then straighten off a bit, and it's left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way up. Visually, how do you blank something like that out? Because it's there when you, as soon as you look up, and you can't block it out, can you? So I would say, if you're less confident about climbing hills, why not visit the Gavia first? That's my virtual partner telling me he's already reached the top. He always does that. He always gets there first. Still haven't worked out to turn him off. So yeah, that's my recommendation. If you're visiting Northern Italy, try the Gavia first. Yeah, just to round things up, scenery between the two. Stelvio wins it hands down. It's just first class, bucket list material for many aspiring cyclists. But I would say stick this one on your bucket list as well. Well, it's the start of another day. I'm in Ponte di Legno. Got nowhere near as far as I wanted. The final climb out the Alps, which I thought was about 300 metres, turned out to be 700. And it would have taken us all back into the mountain again. It was 8:30, it was getting dark. I thought, you know, I'm only really just getting used to mountain climbs in the daytime. Do I really want to go up into mountain regions at night and descend in the darkness? And yeah, chicken down. Not that crazy TCR. Anyway, just inching my way out of Ponte di Legno now. Hooking a right at this T-junction coming up. I'm gonna start taking on, hopefully, the final climb out the Alps. I know it was a long descent. There was another chunky bit, which is a long way off. So yeah, let's get moving. Bit of a correction from back there. When I say I'm not that crazy, what I mean is, if I was more of a local rider and knew the roads, and you know, perhaps more familiar with mountain climbing all around, then I probably would have taken it. But I'm a Lincolnshire born and bred person. You know, I'm not used to going up and down mountains at 40 miles an hour. My brakes, I've seen a lot of wear during this trip. Anyway, it's this particular climb, I've just passed it. It's the Passo del Tonel. Yeah, so let's get up there, 700 metres, then plenty downhill. So back in the mountains again, after a 1300 metre descent early today. It's the afternoon. I'm on a 1200 metre ascent. I did get the name of the mountain when I was at the bottom, but I forgot it now. I'm in the final third of the climb. I've stopped twice, once after 400 metres to have lunch, and then another 400 metres to top up on liquids that I had left. So I'm on the final stretch. It's been a glorious day. It's probably been the hottest day though so far. It's why I had to stop a couple of times just to chill out. So yeah, I'm on to the final third of the ride. Been through some apple farms, and of course I had to help myself to a couple of apples as well, which reminds me of last November or October in Northumberland. I was doing a 200 km road axe DIY, and excuse me, getting a bit low on water. I was that ride, and I was coming up to this house that was getting refurbed near the Hadrian's Wall. It was, and I thought, oh, I wonder if there's an outside tap. I had a good look around, couldn't find anything, except I did find a tree. So I grabbed a couple of apples and got me through to the what was the next town, 2-3 hours away. That was quite an extreme example of an old axe where I'd not put many restaurants in or anything like that, cafes, shops. I did lots of crazy things like that this year and last year as a TCR trading to make me go without stuff for hours on end. Up to now, I've always managed to find somewhere, but I've been close a couple of times. In fact, I've run out of water a couple of times as well. Usually something comes along. But as I get further into Eastern Europe, the likelihood of a shop being, you know, not too far away, they kind of drop away as the time goes by. Which is why I've got some water purification tablets with me as well. So if I can find a stream or something like that, you know, free flowing stream, I can grab some water out of the middle of nowhere. Many hours later. Hey folks, it's approaching the Slovenian border. I don't think there's any border control, but practically upon it. I've not spoken to you for hours now. Been really getting my head down. I wanted a huge day compared to the last few. So when I do finish this route, which is loaded, and enter Slovenia, I'll be at 341 kilometers, and then I'll be going straight into loading my next route in, and pretty much finding somewhere to get my head down for 2-3 hours, I think. Depending on the next stage that I load into my Garmin, will decide how far I'm going to go on. I think I'm in Slovenia for like 2 hours or something like that before I enter Croatia. Might be wrong. I seem to think that when I was doing the route and everything, but then, you know, I didn't necessarily think I'd have 340 plus kilometers in my legs at that point. So we'll see. I've been using this nighttime opportunity to practice outrunning dogs as well. There's been a few dogs about, mostly in back gardens. There was one little baby whippersnapper and it ran after me. It was fast. Not as fast as it probably can be, but it's like a little baby hound dog kind of thing. Anyway, I thought, wow, this is interesting. A bit of a city and everything as well. There's been a few barks here and there, so I've just been pretending that they're loose and been putting my foot on it. So basically what I've been doing on these nighttime periods, on this nighttime period in particular, because I've got to keep myself below low endurance level. I'm sticking kind of at inactive recovery pace at the moment, so I'm at 20 to 22 kilometers an hour. I'm sitting in that zone, and if I go too far up, I pull back. So that works twofold. It allows me to keep on going, as well as if there isn't any dogs, I can, with it being flat and everything, I can just put my foot on it. So what's his sign say? To do zwien, to viscosa. Yeah. Right, anyway, speak to you soon. Oh, I just wanted to clarify what I meant by active recovery zone. It only really applies to the terrain I'm on right now. It's quite flattish, as well as it's been a bit of tailwind all day, so that's all really based on. I wouldn't normally consider that an active recovery zone. Well, turns out I was a little bit ahead of myself. I thought I was coming into Slovenia, but it's another 45k up the road. Trieste, T-R-I-E-S-T-E. It's a city in Italy, so I've got to get through there, and then once I got into Slovenia, it's 25k across before dropping into Croatia. So the way I'm feeling right now, 75k, I might go for it. Well, hey folks, hopefully you can hear me okay. Now, where am I? Bustling city of Senj. I say bustling, it's a very touristy place. I'm at the harbour, hopefully you can hear me okay, as boats bob up and down on the water. Yeah, I've kind of laid back on this one. I've done 120 kilometres today. Yeah, nothing exciting. First thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up bright and early. I've got a 1,000 kilometre climb out of here, southeast. I think it's about 400 kilometres plus towards Montenegro, still to explore. So get up early tomorrow and crack on. Hopefully it should be a good journey. Well, hey folks, how you doing? Hope you're well. It's morning of, so it's the 11th day, I don't know. I'm in Senj, climbing a mountain. It's 900 metres high, as you say, I'm dead enthusiastic about it. Just really had enough of being thrown into the gutter all the time by traffic. The basic principle of driving a vehicle is, if there's something in your lane, use the other lane. But in the continent, no one seems to understand the principle of look after your fellow man. Get constantly thrown into the gutter. It's just I don't know, I can't think of the word, it's just wrong. So yeah, I've just come halfway up-ish and catching a breath, venting off a bit to you guys, sharing that frustration, and about to continue on. I actually can see somebody else on a bike, so I wonder what they're feeling like. Yeah, anyway, so down in Senj, I got a couple of beers, very touristy, so I just did the touristy thing for a little while. I thought, I'm not doing that mountain until the morning. Let's see who this is. I think it's a fellow TCR rider, don't know, looks like it could be, as he gradually grinds his way up here. That's a nightmare. Well, that was interesting. I bumped into a couple of riders. Doug from Seattle Randonneurs. Can't give you a cat number, wasn't a weird one. And Rob as well. Rob, cat number 194. Shared stories for 10 minutes. Oh dear. It's nice to know you're not going through this thing alone. You get these reminders every now and again. Oh, it's certainly been an interesting 36 hours. I did that mammoth ride the other day, 404 kilometres, and I told myself, oh, I bet I could do that again, and just not been able to, and my heart's not been in it really. I've sank into holiday mode a couple of times, kind of resigned myself to thinking, never going to get this done. I'm thinking to myself, I need to have that conversation with work, say, can I finish this thing? Or tell them I am going to finish this thing. I'll let them to know today, because once I got out of Croatia, there's a few countries with no internet access. So, oh god, here we go. Luckily it was tied up. Anyway, on that welcome introduction to dogs on a mountain, I'll catch you in the next instalment if there is one. See you later. Bye.